Hi, everybody. Cody from The Way of the Void here. Just hoping that you know that this is just for entertainment purposes only. We're just trying to make you giggle a little bit. It's damn near designed so you can't learn anything from it. Just keep that in mind. It's just laughs, folks.
There is no other God. Satan killed him.
Yeah, it's been fucking recorded.
Yeah, we've been recording.
Yeah.
I got more at home.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's really fucking go off.
This is Eric.
This is Cody.
That is Nikki.
Piece of shit. Hello?
And this is The Way of the
This
Void.
is The Way of the Void.
Hello, folks.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing fucking great.
I'm doing good. Bit of a late start. Some
You are not doing good.
technical difficulties today. Fuck. Man.
Oh, man. I came into a fucking hornet's nest, folks. I came over at my usual time.
It's not Nikki's fault.
I didn't say it was Nikki's
No,
fault.
it's never Nikki's fault.
It's well, I wouldn't go that far.
I don't think it's my fault either.
No, I wouldn't say it's your fault. It's not my fault. I would say actually this one is the machines. The
Yeah,
machines
the
fucking
machine's
turned
fault.
on us.
Yeah.
But I will say, when I came here, you were already like fucking.
well,
your
just-
hackles were already up, and I go, "What the fuck's going on?"
Well, just for the listeners and watchers of this, so usually we have some software kind of issues, audio issues, right when we start. So we kind of like screw around with everything for like an hour and a half, maybe an hour ish.
Yeah, around that.
So I was like, I'm gonna start before everybody gets here, and like, so I started at like 8 o'clock in the morning, like fucking with it. And what is it? It's like fucking like 7 o'clock at night now. It's fucking goddamn.
It's like noon.
Yeah, it's like noon.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So we've been working away at it for a little bit now. Hey, but you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
That is okay.
Yeah. When I showed up on the scene, I was fucking Eric's been restarting his computer over and over again since 8 o'clock. And I come upstairs, I'm sitting down, and my favorite part of it is you're already like about to pull your fucking beard out with frustration.
Yeah.
And fucking Nicky, my favorite, he turns around and goes, "Oh, we need to address your fucking chair. Your tiny body looks fucking tiny in
I look
your
little.
gigantic gaming chair." And Eric's just like, "Thanks, Nick, not now."
He did not say that.
Yeah.
I started laughing my ass off. I was like, way to read the room, Nick.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be the last fucking episode.
Do not perceive me.
Thank you. I did. I called for a coffee drop off.
Wait, that's an option?
It's an option for
What?
me. Thank you. Thank you. That was my my Frogger.
Yeah.
My Frogger.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later. This week's episode. Well, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Cool. Me too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. I'm doing all right. Just been working and shit.
Working. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the supply chain business never ends.
You're telling me, man.
That's what I hear.
You're telling me. What's new with you?
Not too much. I had
Besides your fucking cool morning.
besides
Technical difficulties.
besides my cool morning. But it's okay. Everything is a learning experience, right?
Yeah.
Every day is a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we've gotten past it, I want to say, just to clear the air too, I don't want your throne over there.
My little gaming chair?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
That was a weird Game of Thrones power play by Nikki. I think he wants the chair.
I think one day, once this thing starts making money,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get us all the exact same cool chair,
Yeah.
and we'll all get cool mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we get that Blue Chew money.
Once we get that Blue Chew money, once we get that fucking NordVPN money,
Yeah. Yep.
dude, it's funny because one day outside of my work in the back, because every day I take a walk around the entire building
Right.
to get the little blood flowing in my little leggies. I saw a package, like a ripped open Blue Chew package, like right
Hell
outside the door, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And I like took a picture of it, and I sent it to like a few of like my homies and stuff like that.
Right.
And they're, instantly when you see that, it's like super funny. It's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, somebody fucking getting
somebody fucking
wild on lunch break.
Yeah, there's somebody handling the business.
And then I sent it to a couple of my other friends that are women, that are ladies, and they're like, "What's that?"
Get the fuck
I
out
swear
of
to God,
here.
they had no idea what it was.
No way.
Yeah, and I was like, "It's fucking." I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you can't even turn on your fucking computer without seeing a Bluetooth ad.
Yeah.
But Bluetooth ad, but apparently
Yeah.
they don't get they don't get those fucking ads.
Yeah, I have that sometimes. Sometimes, like, I'll like show my wife something, or whatever. And she's like, I don't even know what that is, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just you ever that moment where you're just like, what the fuck is in your Instagram? Like, what is there? Like, because it's not. We don't get the same shit.
No, and well, then I guess
But Blue Chew, what podcast do you listen to?
yeah,
Holy
exactly.
shit!
Because like fucking almost every YouTube video and every podcast I listen to has a fucking Blue Chew ad at least once in the rotation.
Right. I wonder if it's specifically that boner pill, like the way they know what Hims was and all that.
No, I don't think they don't get that shit.
don't
Only
get
we
it.
get it.
Weird.
Yeah,
Weird.
yeah. So
All right.
because I would assume that like ladies would get it because they're like, my guy needs this.
Bless his heart. He
bless-
tries.
bless his
but
heart, but he tries.
We're gonna turn to science now.
But yeah, I was like shooketh that like they had no idea what it was, and I'm like, this is so prevalent in like modern culture. I'm just like, because I remember like back in the day and stuff when like Viagra first came out, and it was probably like this like super like embarrassing thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like now it's
Well, you
like,
had what's his name, the politician, the fucking Bob Dole. Is that the one that did the Viagra?
oh, he did the yeah. It was
Yeah.
like something for elderly men.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like oh yeah, like fucking they make it chewing gum. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
like just
Yeah.
gum.
Well, you're talking about a different, like an exact different climate. Have you seen that fucking? What's the soap with the Bigfoot?
Oh, the Sasquatch soap.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like made out of
Made out of fucking Sydney Sweeney's bathwater.
bathwater. Yeah,
So this is like one of their and it's like sold in Target and shit.
yeah.
Like Walmart has it
Yeah.
and stuff. But
Well-
this soap company, they did an ad campaign with Sydney Sweeney, and she's like in a bathtub talking to you, and then a bunch of fucking dudes were like,
I want to buy the
yeah,
bathwater.
we're like sending in emails to the soap company, like, what'd you do with that fucking bathwater, homie?
Friend of the show.
And then they were like, well, let's make a fucking bar of soap out of it.
Yeah,
That's the climate now, so I don't think like Blue Chew is
Yeah.
like a weird thing anymore.
that's just weird. That's weird because I remember,
I totally don't need it, but that's cool. Whatever.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. That's just funny because I just remember a few years ago in that Bella Delphine. Is that her name, Nikki? But
Something like that, yeah.
yeah, I remember she was selling her bathwater. She was like a streamer or something.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Didn't a bunch of people get fucking? Didn't a bunch of people? Was that like a hoax?
I think that was a hoax.
That was a hoax?
Yeah.
a
That
bunch
they
of people
got like chlamydia
fucking-
or some shit. Yeah.
like herpes and shit.
No, I think that was like a fucking urban legend. But anyways, this like fucking booby streamer, she like sold her bathwater and it fucking like broke the internet and a bunch of people bought it. But I remember that was like super weird and like you would have to be a fucking weirdo to buy that. You know what I mean? And
Well,
now
yeah.
it's like a fucking crazy like A-list actress
Yeah.
is like, oh, I'm making soap out of my
and like a
bathwater.
soap brand that's
like a legit
like
soap brand
big.
that's in, like you said, Target and shit.
Yeah, it's not like some weird fucking Instagram brand anymore. It's like a thing. But that's the climate now.
Yeah, man. What is it? Late stage capitalism?
Fuck, dude. The pervs are happy.
The pervs are happy.
You know,
yeah.
Shit gets buck wild when they get fucking too pent up. So
Yeah, good fuck.
probably-
Yeah, no kidding.
Probably a good thing.
God bless.
You know.
Besides that, I haven't been up to too much. We're recording a week early because your birthday's coming up, so you can't record next week.
Happy
dude.
birthday, Cody.
Yeah. Thanks.
Happy birthday, Cody.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, my wife is taking me out of town to a cool swimming hole.
A swimming hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a little day trip and stuff.
That's what's up.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready to go, dude. I got my fucking Blue Chew ready. I'm fucking. Yeah. No. It's gonna be fun. Yeah. That's all I want for my birthday anymore. People leave me the fuck alone and fucking. I'll just go somewhere with the wife.
Dude,
Go swimming for the day.
I'm like a fucking straight psychotic person on my birthday.
But yeah, well, it's fucking Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's like
the day
Christmas-
before Christmas Eve.
Day before Christmas Eve.
23rd, right?
The 23rd.
Fuck. So you're already have the fucking holidays going on, full blast.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then like,
Yeah. So like I've like grown up with like none of my friends being in town, me not
Yeah.
being in school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all that shit. So I don't usually do much. I usually will go and get like a cool lunch
right.
and then I'll just like sit in this chair for 12 hours watching YouTube or playing a video game or something. Yeah.
That's what you want.
That's what I want.
That's
and
what
like
you
nobody comes over.
Yeah.
Like I think this year I made plans. I was like I invited a couple people to come over for to play D&D.
Yeah.
And then like the day of, I was just like, I don't want to do it. Don't come
Nope.
over.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to work out.
I remember a couple years ago, like I think my mom and my uncle came over and we all went to lunch. And then within an hour, I was just like, okay, get the fuck out of my house. I'm over it.
He never did it.
I don't want to talk to anybody on my birthday.
Well, also too, it's like I'm going to be spending hours with you in like a day and a half.
Yeah.
It was supposed to take special time. Right now, no. I could be
I did
playing
get
video
this-
games.
I did get this new sweatsuit the other day.
Yeah, you're pumped on
Yeah.
it, huh? This is your first outing with the Pro Club?
Yeah, I've never owned a pro club before.
dude, it's the shit. They're fucking. It's the shit.
Yeah, it's very comfortable, very
Yeah.
nice and loose.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. It's like what would it be comparable to? It's like
Do you know if like
white trash FUBU.
White trash FUBU, I like it. Do you know if like Dickies or like Ben Davis, if they make sweats at all?
Yeah,
Are they nice? Are they like
the Dickies ones
Yeah.
are like whatever, but they're still nice. But the Ben Davis like the sweatshirts and shit are thick as fuck. They're nice.
I went to Reno and I went to a Carhartt store and I bought this like cool blue Carhartt. Oh, I think I wore it on an episode.
Yeah, probably.
Hoodie, and it's like super nice and thick and like
Yeah,
loose fitting.
yeah.
I love it. And it was like $55.
It's the way to go.
I go to like Dick's Sporting Goods and like get like a Nike.
Well, it's
like-
a matter of time. It's gonna come back around. Like this. That's what happened with Champion.
That's true.
Like Champion was the shit because you could get like this good shit for like fucking $9.
Yeah.
And then like, some fucking Instagram hoe started putting a logo on one and
Is
then
that
it,
a
like
dab
blew
pen?
up. Yeah. His fucking Nosferatu pen.
I would hit it, but no.
No.
We want this episode
No.
to go somewhere.
No. Hit him.
Is this a normal one?
Yeah, that's a normal one. It's not Nikki's fucking crazy shit.
I need to chill out.
Yeah. There you go. Now you're pent up.
Usually when I hit those, like my lungs are so pathetic, like I'll fucking just start hacking.
You and me both, man.
Yeah, I usually
I think I just damaged mine. I smoked since I was 13.
you smoke cigarettes?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever smoked a cigarette.
I know. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, it is super weird, especially
Yeah.
when I was like gallivanting in the bars and like
Yeah. How
Yeah.
hard you went.
Yeah, I went super hard on everything else, but smoking I never.
Strange. You never picked it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good boy.
Yeah. Yeah. What else has been new?
Nothing. I've been watching a bunch of stuff because I was compiling a bunch of different theories and stuff like that I was gonna do for this week's episode. So I've been like fucking deep in the weird.
I went through
side.
I went through like 3 for mine. I was gonna do one, and then that one was like it's still cool. I'll still do it, but
Yeah.
I just wasn't fucking feeling like it.
Yeah,
I wanted something fucking cool and out there.
yeah,
And then I thought I'd do this other one, and then I was just like, okay, it's just like a bunch of fucking really technical military videos of probably like bunches of balloons and shit.
what were you gonna do? The jellyfish?
No, I was
Thing?
gonna do USOs, so unidentified submerged.
Ooh, that's
objects.
a good one.
Yeah, but all of them are like, well, this is probably like a fucking bunch of balloons that deflated and are floating around. Like some radar picked it up.
Or
They're just very like kind of
alien.
ambiguous. Yeah, yeah. Some of them are crazy. Some of them are fucking wild. But I'll do that one later, and then I stumbled upon mine. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
So the other day, I actually watched an entire episode of Joe Rogan.
Oh,
I like never do that.
what brought this on?
My boy AJ from the Y Files was on the show,
Oh, okay.
and it was actually a really good episode.
Yeah.
And they talked about some crazy shit. And
That guy's a good interviewer when he's got people on there.
yeah, he gets. I don't know, man. I think the COVID stuff fucking broke his brain a little bit. You know what I mean? So he like kind of harps on that shit still.
He kind of took up the fight.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
COVID thing.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's behind us.
What are you
Whatever.
gonna do?
Yeah.
Every single fucking artist that you could like is fucked up in some way or another. Like they're human, Like they're not gonna fucking be perfect all the time. I'm not sticking up for the guy. I don't fucking care that much. But I think it's weird when people are like fucking.
Like they hate him.
Well, no, they act like he's fucking, Tom Brokaw or something.
Yeah.
He like fucking lied about his journalistic
Oh
integrity.
yeah,
or some shit. You're like, dude, I mean,
you're like the guy that like
dude, he calls
humps a
himself a moron
Yeah.
every day on his show. And
he,
he
like-
says to your face, you should not listen to me.
yeah, and in his like comedy act, he like
Yeah.
humps a fucking bar stool.
Yeah. 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 Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, I find it weird that people will go, the same people, they're usually the ones that are like, the violent video games don't do anything. That's a myth.
Yeah.
And they're like, fucking violent movies don't do anything. That's
Yeah.
a myth. And then like Joe Rogan comes along and they're like, everything wrong is his fault.
Yeah,
Why are they acting this way?
it's this right wing echo chamber.
Yeah. I was like, I thought, all right, never mind.
But besides that stuff,
Leave Marilyn Manson alone. Joe Rogan is very irresponsible with his power. Like, oh, okay. That's the same fucking person.
yeah, no shit. Oh, goodness gracious! But
Yeah.
but I haven't been too much. The same old stuff. Just playing video games, building models. I got a bunch of models over there that I built.
I know.
They're
I
coming
know.
along.
I have another fucking bone to pick with you.
What?
You son of a bitch, dude. You're like a fucking MK Ultra agent. You infect me, and I'm guessing Nikki, too. I'm guessing he's not immune to it. But, like, first it was the Tartarians. And you, like, purposely... This is what this little fucker does. Is he'll send you these videos with the intention that they'll infect your feed. And then he just backs away into the shadows. And he's like, good luck with this fucking crazy
Yeah,
bitch.
because I know if they click on it,
Yeah,
their fucking
it
feed.
just fucking bam.
Yeah, yeah,
Now I'm
yeah.
just getting drilled with this shit, and now I'm like invested in WNBA drama. You sent me like 5 of those in a row, and I was like, "Fuck!" And then I just accepted it because I
Yeah.
was like, "Fuck."
It's so good. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, they are mean to her.
They're very mean. Yeah, the refs.
Yeah,
Well, it's just also funny because I don't like literally the closest thing to an actual sport that I've ever cared about or ever even watched
this is Dungeons and Dragons.
is fucking wrestling.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's just funny because they're all like all the dramas that the refs and stuff are dirty and they're against her and all this shit. And I'm just like, damn, I didn't know refs could do that, but I'm sure that's how real
Yeah, I
real.
probably was all the
I
time.
didn't mean
yeah.
real, but but I mean in NBA in NBA, I'm sure that is also. I'm sure that's also the case, right?
Yeah,
That-
in the real sport.
yeah. that the refs are dirty.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I know. They come for you now. But yeah, now I'm invested in all this stupid shit.
It's good.
Oh, it's great. It gets me through the fucking workday.
Mm-hmm.
I get like a fucking couple of it. When they cut the montages together, they are ruthless with that fucking other one, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Because like the one from fucking Missouri or Idaho, wherever the fuck, the one that everybody likes that can fucking shoot buckets.
The Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. She's like obvious. Like they
She
set
seemed-
it. They
she's-
set it up like she's your He-Man.
Yeah.
And obviously, the other one from Atlanta is your Skeletor. Like
Yeah, yeah.
everybody just shits on her all the time.
Yeah.
And fucking, they make montages.
Well, I think
of her.
she's in Chicago. She
Who?
plays for the Angel Reese.
Yeah,
She plays for the Chicago
Sky.
Sky.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah.
That's the Skeletor.
Yeah.
Obviously, like everywhere, all supposed to fucking hate her, and then they make montages. You're like, whew, fuck. She
Yeah.
wants more money. Holy shit. Like, the
always-
montages just suck, and then they do the montages of the other one in fucking
I think once
South Dakota, wherever the fuck she plays.
I think the thing that's really gonna set the Caitlin Clark thing apart is if because she has I know she has a deal with Nike,
Yeah.
and once they make like a fucking tight shoe with her name attached to it, it's over.
But she's already got the blessing of fucking 23, dude. MJ came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. He like came out and fucking he commented on it in some interview, and it's fucking dude, Michael Jordan's so tight. Like,
Does he
you
still
see-
have? Does he still have his little Hitler mustache?
oh, I don't know. I didn't look at a picture of it. I was
Oh,
just
okay.
reading the quotes or whatever.
Remember when he was
Article.
rocking the Hitler
Yeah.
mustache for a minute?
Yeah,
It's
it's a fucking
That's a
firm decision.
It's a bold look for
Yeah.
sure.
I feel like he was just like, watch this, because he loves to gamble. He probably bet one of his buddies like, nobody will say shit. Watch.
Yeah,
this.
he's like a famous gambler, huh?
Yeah. Oh, dude, he loves it. Loves it.
Gambling's fun.
No, but he did some interview and he was like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about the Caitlin Clark thing." Okay, yeah, she's obviously the best player to ever play this sport ever. All right, and like, fuck, it just went off about how great she is. I'll piss
Yeah.
everybody off.
Yeah, it's funny. Some of my coworkers, or like a couple of my coworkers, have been giving me a hard time about nicotine patches. And then like the other day, I came back from like Reno, and I was all like, fucking all jazzed on like playing slot machines and shit.
Yeah,
And they're like, "Oh, you better be careful." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm like literally a fucking ex-drug addict. I need something.
You do not work with fun people,
I do not work with fun people.
No.
Some of them are cool.
dude. You'd be laughed out of the building at my fucking work, dude. I work with a bunch of construction dudes. Anybody brought that shit up?
Oh, like, oh, this is bad for you.
Yo, oh
They're like,
my god, dude. That pick your slur and be on your way. They would be fucking no.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. Not today.
Yeah. I don't know. I just started
It's great. It's Men's Mental Health Month, right? And so
right now.
I guess. Yeah. I know. No.
Well, my morning wasn't fucking helping mine. Tell you that much.
Dude, I know that you don't want to say it, and I won't say it was Nikki's fault, but he egged it on.
It was not my
He
fault
egged it
at
on.
all.
The last thing we needed was him turning around and being like, by the way, your tiny fucking body looks
Yeah.
so fucking tiny in your chair. You
I
should
remember
switch
this one
with
time.
Cody.
This one time
He drags me into it.
a few weeks ago, we were having like software drama again.
Yeah.
And I'm just like sitting there frantically, like fucking. And then like Nikki, I remember, is like, "Oh yeah, open up the YouTube. What are the analytics?" I'm like, let me get this working. No, but it's good. I love it.
Today, you're hunched over the computer, fucking sweating.
Yeah,
and
sweating.
shit, and then I just hear him being like, fucking old computer, need a new computer. That's what he starts saying.
How old's your
And then
computer?
he turns to me
Yeah.
like, you fucking egging him on. You're making him stressed out. I'm like, oh, I'm doing it. It's me.
I never get stressed out.
Yeah.
I'm always cool as a cucumber.
Yeah. No, your modus operandi is you get real quiet and then you just start looking at me and Nikki up and down, and we can just read your mind of like, I wish they weren't in my house right now.
Yeah. I wish these fucking goons weren't like fucking looming over me.
Yeah.
When I'm like
Yeah.
trying to like,
It's just this look of like, I wish I was alone right
Yeah.
now in this room.
yeah, it's so funny. And then when I look at a YouTube video, like, how do you do this? Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like some fucking person. And they're just like, oh, open up and just, add this code. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, what you need to do is write new code for this
Yeah,
program
just write
and then
this-
just
yeah.
sub it in. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, just go and learn how to use fucking Python or whatever the fuck. God
Get
damn.
after it, Neo. Let's fucking do this. Need to free your mind.
So Carlos has been on good behavior.
Oh, fuck. Are we really? Are we
Yeah.
at that point in
We're
the
at
show?
that. We're at that point of the show.
Oh, this has become a thing now? Mm-hmm. All right, lay it on me.
No,
I guess.
he was just he's been on good behavior lately,
Oh, okay.
and then he also claims that he's just like, I don't beg you for a shout out.
Right.
He's like, I'm just asking a question, and I'm like, well, the question sounds like a weeping beg to me. Weeping.
Phonetically, how you phrase it when
Yeah.
you're on your knees,
Go on his-
clutching at
oh,
my
yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
Like a fucking refugee
Yeah.
plane trying to get on the last
Yeah.
flight out.
It's like laying in my lap. I'm holding him like this, back and forth, stroking his head. Not his hair, but his head.
No, shush, Carl.
Yeah.
Shush.
It's okay.
Shush. The shout out will come in time.
Yeah, so he wants me to specifically say that he doesn't beg for a shout out.
When did this become a fucking request show? Like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Why do you care what he wants?
I don't. I just like
Yeah.
making fun of him. It's fun.
All right, so we can just go business as usual.
Business as usual.
Okay.
Well, I can't make fun of Nikki.
Why?
I don't know. Because Nikki's good. He's the producer.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes, he's good.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
do it. I actually have to say you do it great with the microphone.
Yeah, he's doing good.
You're
He's
doing
doing good.
fantastic with the microphone. What's been new with you?
Thank you.
Yeah, Nikki,
What do you get up to?
what do you get up to?
What?
Yeah.
I just play games with Eric all day.
That's
on
right.
my time off, and then we hear Carlos
Yeah.
complain about not talking about him and how good his hunt showdown skills are.
Fuck,
Yeah.
dude. It's full circle.
That's
We're
pretty
back.
much all we hear.
Yeah, it's all we hear.
He wants us to say how good he is at Hunt Showdown on the show.
Yeah, he does.
That's the crux. Of
Yeah.
it, every time.
Yeah, he's trying to get that streamer money, I think.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna become a famous barber.
Did you watch the YouTube?
Yeah.
Did you see the picture of him?
Yeah.
Guy looks like a fucking
What the fuck?
fucking numbnut. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So there's this
Last episode, I
couple
think, he was
episodes,
talking about this barber who got fucking, I don't know what you call, like, what do you call, not like Me Too'd for racial stuff. I don't know what that is. Canceled, I guess.
yeah, I think he got canceled. I think he was like some famous, sort of pseudo famous, like
Which I didn't know what the fuck that meant. Like, what did
like he was like a very
he's like an influencer.
yeah, he's like an influencer barber.
You framed it like he was just like, people love to watch this dude cut hair.
well,
I don't know what the fuck that means.
the first time I heard of him was just like I watched some documentary about him, and
There was a documentary about this fucking asshat.
yeah, I think it was a Vice documentary.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They're scraping the barrel.
yeah, they're scraped. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he moved to Russia because he's like an expat, an American expat.
Oh yeah, that's your
lives
favorite
in,
go-to move.
lives in Russia. But yeah, he looks like a fucking dildo.
Do you know what they call expats everywhere else?
What?
Immigrants.
I like it.
Yeah.
Immigrants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
We have to have a cooler name, I guess.
I guess we have to have a cooler name.
Yeah.
Well, I don't support that. Should we get into this? What are we at? What are we at, Nikki?
Oh, we're about 3 minutes in.
3?
30.
30 minutes in.
Look at that.
Look at that.
I know.
So Yeah, should I get into it?
Fucking take me away.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So, so there's this phenomenon that I'm like really interested in because it's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
That your thing just hit me.
Oh.
It's called frogging. And frogging is when somebody lives in your house without you knowing it.
Fuck.
And it seems like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And so anyways, I decided, because this was kind of always a topic that I wanted to do a show on,
This frogging, right?
an episode on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I started kind of like compiling.
Before we go any further, can
Yes.
I make one guess? And you just tell me just yes or no answer. This seems like fucking Seattle activities.
Seattle.
Yeah. Seems like Pacific Northwest activities.
Yeah. They're all over the place.
Are they really?
Yeah. There's like a
A lot
pretty
of them up there, though?
There's probably a lot of them up there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also a frogging with a pH.
Yep. Frogging with a pH.
Yeah. I'm not at all unfamiliar. I don't have like a personal experience with it, but I've definitely heard of this phenomenon. This is like a festival kid kind of thing. It
Yeah.
started off with, right? Like you were just a festival kid. You'd break into somebody's house and like live in the basement for a week. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
move on.
Kind of.
And then creeps found out.
Yeah,
they were
and then
doing
yeah,
this,
and
and
then
we're like,
psychos found out.
oh.
So this week's episode is not on frogging as a whole because I was going to do that. And so I started compiling all these stories, and like literally the first story I started like looking into and taking notes, I was like, oh, this is a cool story. So I'm just going to do a whole episode on this one story.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. I do have a personal frogging story though.
Were you the frog?
No, I was not the frog. So I'll just say it right now. So a few years ago, this is actually a long fucking time ago, I left the apartment that I was living in, and
Is this the apartment that I was familiar with?
yes, yeah, it was the apartment that you were
I
familiar
forgot.
with,
Yeah.
and so I had to leave that apartment because of whatever. I wasn't gonna live with an ex-girlfriend like a fucking nut. So I'm
Dude,
like,
that's a popular one now.
that's disgusting.
It's fucking weird.
That is revolting behavior. Like you,
You do not need to be friends with this people. No, this needs to stop.
yeah. Like I worked with a dude who his fucking like wife like left him, and then because she worked at a bank or something, and she started like fucking with one of her coworkers,
Right.
and so for whatever reason the marriage quickly fell apart,
Yeah.
and
Go figure.
but he still lived with his ex-wife and her family or something like that.
Ooh.
And he had like 2 kids, and she was like fucking totally like banging this dude, like it was like her boyfriend, like over all the time. And he was like, he would have like fucking like total fucking breakdowns and
Jesus
shit at work. And I'm like,
Christ.
that is just I'm not gonna fucking blame anyone, but if you care about your fucking mental health at all, do not put yourself in a fucking situation like that.
And,
Jesus.
it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, that guy like went fucking like totally fucking nuts and shit. Yeah.
Fuck.
So years ago, I had to move out of my apartment, and my work at the time, it was like in this big giant like warehouse building that was like segmented into like a bunch of different like offices and all this other shit.
Yeah.
And there like sometimes they would like rent some of like the unused warehouse space to coworkers that like
Right.
wanted to like live there or whatever, needed a place. So I was like, hey, I don't have a place to live. Like, can I like rent this room? So they're saying, yeah, you could rent this like old art space that we don't use anymore for $500 a month.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, fucking sick. And it was like this giant, huge, like crazy, like converted like loft on top of like a warehouse.
Sick.
It was super fucking cool. But there was a night, like there was like a dude that like watched the place at night.
Right.
And
like a night watchman. Right.
And he lived there like in a fucking little trailer. And he
Why
was like,
didn't he fucking rent one of the fucking places?
I don't know, but he just like lived there for fucking free because whoever owned. So that's the thing, is that like my work didn't own the building.
So they would rent it out, but he had to. I got
Yeah.
you. Okay.
And then they even said, they're even like, oh, don't let this guy see you like at night because technically you're not supposed to be here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean? No big
that's
deal.
fine.
Like it had like a door to the outside, so I could just like go in and out from like the outside. So it was like chill. And he was like this older dude, and he had this like a camo jacket and like really long hair and like a big old beard, and he was like gray and stuff. It was Nicky.
Yeah, it was Nicky.
And he was like this like skinny, gaunt, like old man. And
the classic fucking creepy old fuck from the horror movie that like warns you, whatever.
Yeah, he looked fucking nuts.
He's like the fucking bad guy from I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy old fisherman.
And he just like fucking chain smoked like a motherfucker. He was just like always smoking, and he slept all day long, and then like just kind of wandered around smoking, muttering to himself at night, I guess, on the premises. And so
this is Nicky.
So one day, like I remember sleeping on my little bed there, and like I kind of like I like felt like somebody was in the room with me for some reason.
No.
And I was just like, you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things where you could just feel some other person in the room with you sometimes, you know? And I was just like, oh, that's kind of like weird.
It woke you up?
It woke me up a couple times. It was just like this weird unsettling feeling, you know what I mean? And then I had already like quit drinking and stuff, so like I was fucking sober as a blue jay like during this time. And and I remember this one time I had a case of the like sleep paralysis where like I like woke up and I couldn't wake up, and I felt like somebody like standing over me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like I fell back asleep or whatever, and then I woke up like an hour later or something, like fucking 4 or 5 in the morning, and then the room that I was sleeping in reeked like cigarettes, like
ew,
reeked like smokes. And then I was like, I think this fucking dude walks in here when I'm asleep sometimes.
And watches you.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Nothing, because I was fucking living there illegally, so I was just like, this is what I have to deal with.
Dude, I would have waited up.
Oh no! So what I did is
so
there was like my little entrance was like a hallway, and then it would kind of snake around, and then there was like a staircase up to like the loft that I lived in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so like what I started doing is I got a bunch of like wood dowels, like wood like round like sticks or whatever.
Yeah,
and I started putting them on the steps. At night when I would go to sleep.
So
if anyone ever fucking did that, they would like fall down the steps. And so like I started sleeping with like that shit.
Did you ever hear it fucking oh fuck?
No, but one time I forgot and I fucking fell down the stairs because I fucking walked down and I fucking tripped on it and fucking totally like tumbled down the fucking steps.
That's fucked. Did you tell anybody about it?
Oh yeah. I told some of my coworkers, and they're like, "Yeah, that guy's crazy. Like, better watch out." And they're like trying to like freak me out about it. You know what I mean?
You were laughing pretty hard over there. It was you, wasn't it? Fucking knew it.
So that's kind of like my pseudo personal frogging thing. Like, I don't really know if you know. And that building was really weird because apparently there was like a bakery that was attached to it, and a climbing gym and all this other shit. Like, you know, it was like a big old like fucking tannery or something. I don't know what it used to be.
Right.
And they just converted it into a bunch of different like warehouse spaces. And apparently there was a guy that worked at the bakery years ago, and he like went up into a crawl space. And he like built an apartment, and I guess he was like the handy,
unbeknownst to everybody.
and he was like the handyman of like he was kind of like the guy that would like fix stuff.
What he built an apartment, like a function, like had
Yeah.
a toilet and
Yeah,
shit.
no, not a toilet and shit, but like he built like a fake wall, and he would like scoot in between like the wall and stuff, and like I guess he had like a whole elaborate thing that he
God
like
damn.
built in there, and I guess he like had lived there for like years, and this was like years before I like.
He had like a TV in there and shit.
Yeah, like it was like before I fucking moved in. It was like
Fuck.
years and years ago.
They had to kick him out, eh?
No, apparently they did. They found him and they kicked him out or whatever. They like fired him, but then he ended up getting a job at the bakery downstairs, and so he was like, so he like still lived in the and then I guess like they would hire him to like fix stuff around that fucking building and shit. I don't know, Santa Cruz bullshit, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so today's story is the Denver Spider-Man.
Somebody gonna kiss upside down?
Somebody definitely got a kiss upside down. And so this story is about a man named Theodore Edward Coneys. And Theodore Edward Coneys was born November 10th, 1882.
Dude, I'll just say it right now, dude. Theodore it's a tricky one, dude. You name your kid Theodore, dude. That's not good.
Yeah.
You know, you're a chipmunk or a fucking like mass shooter.
Yeah. And so
It's the only way that works.
so this
Oh, there he is, eh?
yeah, there he is. I'll put some pictures up
Jesus.
once we kind of get into the story.
What era are we in?
Like the story proper takes place in 1941.
Jesus.
1940, 1941.
Oh, this is back before
Yeah.
it was cool.
Yeah, this was back before it was cool. He was a fucking trailblazer, I guess.
Are you gonna cover it all, like kind of how the roots of like frogging, like besides this, or like what the fad kind of was? Like,
No.
what was the fucking logic behind thinking that it was all right to fucking go? Because if they're everywhere, dude, like some of these states,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
yeah.
I don't know. These people are usually pretty fucking mentally ill, and you know, and I think that's definitely the case for this dude.
It reminds me like the fad part of it. It does remind me a lot of the clown people.
Oh
Like
yeah,
the
like
people that would just
yeah.
like wander around. Remember that?
Yeah,
When that fucking
when was that?
movie
Like
came out?
2016, 2018?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something around there.
Yeah.
Whenever that fucking It movie came out, that was like the height of it.
So this Theodore dude, he had a mother and father. I don't know. It had their name, but I didn't write it down because I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, you failed.
I know. So it says that he was born in Illinois, but then they moved to Canada, and at some point his dad passes away,
Yeah,
and so Theodore and his mother, and I think he had a couple siblings. She decides to move to Colorado. So they moved to Colorado, and at this time, Theodore is like very sickly.
okay.
Like he's very frail and sickly, and the doctors pretty much tell his mom that he's like not gonna live till he's to 18. Like he's gonna die. He's like sounds like he's very frail.
This is how it goes. Then you get fucking bit by the radioactive spider.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Done, son.
yeah, and then he starts working at a newspaper in New York City. No, that was a joke. That was a Spider-Man joke.
Okay.
And so,
All right. So he's a sickly, frail little thing.
yeah, so he's a sickly, frail little thing, and it doesn't really say much about his youth or whatever. But I imagine he got fucking picked on a bunch, got fucked up a bunch because he was a little twerp, and then
Like God intended.
yeah, in early is it 1900s, early 20th century, they probably were not the nicest kids back then,
Yeah.
and
It's fucking weird. I wonder how many school shootings they had.
they didn't call them school shootings back then. They called them like world wars. Well, they didn't have video games to set everyone off.
Yeah.
he kind of like bounces around, you know, a little bit in his youth. His mom and stuff moves around Colorado quite a bit. It sounds like they're pretty fucking poor. And at some point, his mom passes away.
Right.
And so it's just kind of Theodore by himself.
Shame for how sickly and small her son is.
Yes,
She
it
couldn't
is.
take it
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, she couldn't take it anymore. Yeah. This is Batista's fucking origin story. This is him. This guy actually looks exactly like Batista.
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
This
but
is a
since you did.
fucking 100-pound gaunt fucking ghoul of a fucking man. Fuck him. So he manages to get a job. So he says that he starts his own advertising business, and then that kind of quickly fails, and then he goes into sales, and then
Dude.
that fails.
Nikki just showed me a picture. This dude is not gonna
Yeah.
do well in fucking sales.
No,
Come on.
I wouldn't buy a goddamn thing from
Not
this guy.
one fucking thing.
No,
No.
and
You'll put a picture of him in the episode, right?
what do you say?
You're gonna put a picture of him in the episode?
Yeah, yeah.
When we edit it out?
Yeah.
You take a look at it, folks. What are you buying from him? I wouldn't buy fucking like pencil top erasers from this fuck.
He is a pencil top.
All right, so he goes into his fucking cool career in sales.
Yeah, and it doesn't really work out. Like
Does
he
it say
kinda-
what he's selling?
No, it doesn't say. I don't know. It's in the early.
Burial plots. That's the only thing he's gonna excel
Yeah.
at. He looks like the cartoon sketch of like the mortician.
Yeah, he does.
Like you put him in fucking all black and just dig a hole in a graveyard. That's what he looks like. That's his job.
And so it's like the 1920s, and businesses are booming and all this other shit. And so he's like he's kind of bouncing around from job to job, you know.
Right.
But he's not really like holding anything down. Really, it
I
doesn't.
take it that has something to do with his fucking cool personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the 1930s happens, and then do you know what happens in the 1930s?
Hey, I have a pretty good idea.
The Great Depression
Yeah.
happens in
Wah,
the
wah.
1930s, and obviously this was economically devastating all over the United States. I'd think all over the world as well.
Yeah.
And so
I hear it really damaged the fucking mentally ill ghouls that need to bounce around from job to job.
and at this time, I guess people like really relied on friends and family to like get by, and community.
Ooh.
And it says that this guy was a big loner,
Yeah.
and people didn't really like him very much.
No shit.
So he didn't really have a bit of a community whatsoever. And
Dude.
so the 1930s were particularly devastating for this fucking dude. And he
I don't want to hear about it.
doesn't.
After Nikki showed me the picture, I don't want to fucking hear about how devastating it was for your goddamn. What is his name? Daniel?
Theodore.
Theodore? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. He looks like a corpse. And
What about
wet
Theodore
spaghetti.
Roosevelt?
Yeah, that's a cool one.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, that's a cool one. He looks like a corpse and wet spaghetti had a baby.
Theodore Roosevelt?
No,
He saw a
this
Bigfoot.
dude.
He
This
saw a
dude.
Bigfoot.
Yeah, I know. We should cover him one of these
We
days.
will cover him one of these days. I don't know.
Yeah,
He-
dude. Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy. Yeah. Fucking badass.
Yeah. You want to get drunk and shoot some shit? Like that was his whole fucking modus operandi.
Was he the one that ended up in a wheelchair, or was that FDR?
That was FDR. That was
FDR,
way
okay.
later. Yeah, he had
Okay.
polio.
Polio.
Yeah.
Some of those polio vaccines. Don't even get me started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, actually I heard that the last remaining person that had that had polio during the polio epidemic,
Right.
that had been living in an iron lung for 70 years, just passed away.
Oh, well, fuck. Nobody could fucking pull the plug on that.
Yeah, just like sitting there in a
Holy shit.
like a hospital even still had that.
Was it a hospital? They'd send you home in those things too. Which,
I'm not
That
sure,
long?
but I know that like the last remaining person in an iron lung just
what the fuck was your PG&E bill like?
just died like last year.
Jesus.
Yeah. I digress. So he's pretty much a vagrant, doesn't have a job. He's a he doesn't like work at all. He doesn't really have any skills, and so he's pretty much like a vagrant homeless from like the late 20s all the way up until the 40s. Like,
damn.
Yeah, he's just like,
he's a lifer.
Yeah, so he like lives in New York for a little while, bounces around, and he did live in Colorado for a little bit in the 20s.
Yeah.
And in the 20s, he did sort of have a group of, I don't know if it says that he had a group of friends, but apparently he was a part of a mandolin club. And when he was in a mandolin club...
Yeah, dude, Nicky just looked at me. Yep, we know. All right. This is your weird thing.
He meets a guy...
It's up there, dude. Taxidermy, mandolin, it's bagpipes, whatever the fuck it is you're into. These guys always have to have a thing that's like a weird, your hobby. All right.
Mandolin?
Yeah.
They sound heavenly.
Yeah, you're fucking, I take it you're just up on your dungeon synth right now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Mandolins and fucking hurdy-gurdies.
Yeah, dude, my bard.
So he meets this guy named Philip Peters and his wife, and it says that they're acquaintances like years ago.
Okay.
And so in 1940, he ends up in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, because he used to live there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go look this guy up.
Sick.
And I'm gonna ask him for money." Like, essentially he went there for a handout. You know what I mean? He's like, I might be able to get like a hot meal or something like that. It's crazy because it says that he hadn't seen this guy in like over 20 years. And then he just like pops up at his house to like ask him for money. And so,
you just, dude, Phil just got fucked. That fucked the whole thing up, dude. You just ruined Phil's fucking day, by the way. Can you imagine?
Back up a little bit.
Can you imagine? God.
Some fucking trolley to show up. And I'm
dude.
just like, I was
your wife gets wind of this.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah.
And why are you, what? What do you mean he's going to, what does he want? Yeah. Oh, dude, Phil was fucked.
I used to know him 20 years ago. So anyway, so he shows up at this dude's fucking house and nobody's home. Supposedly he knocks on the door.
Still in the game, Phil.
No one's home. And he tries the front door and it is unlocked. So he's like, well, nobody's home. I'm just going to like ransack the place and steal stuff. Because it sounds like he's probably a petty criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes. So
he's a real piece of shit.
Yeah, he's a real piece of shit. So I'd imagine that all that stuff is kind of fake. I'd imagine he just went there to rob the place because he knew that this guy lived there.
Well, he probably went there for a handout.
Yeah.
But they weren't home, and then it just quickly turns into, I'm going to rob the place.
And so he gets into the house and he's like rummaging through stuff and he's like, probably eats some fucking food, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes upstairs and he goes into a closet and he looks inside of a closet and he notices that there's a little bitty trap door in the closet.
Leading up to the attic.
Right. And so he fucking pops it open and there's like this 27-inch tall little cubby hole up there. Like it's little.
Yeah.
And so he fucking scurries up there and he closes it and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna live here for the winter."
Oh, Theodore had a fucking idea.
And so
he's settling down for the winter.
And so this Philip dude was not home. And this Philip dude is old. He's like 72.
Jesus.
And
Theodore's not young either.
Yeah, and
he's like, what is he? 59?
Yeah, he's 59, 58. And so he's like an old fucking bum. So, thank the gods he fucking made it past 18.
Yeah.
So anyways, so he like scurries up there and then he's like, I'm just gonna like live here,
Yeah.
And he's like, nobody's home. Why fuck not?
God.
And the funny thing is, Philip was not home because his wife had broken her hip a few weeks before, and she was recovering from hip surgery.
So he was at the hospital.
And so this Philip gentleman would leave during the day and visit his wife in the hospital, and then he would come back home at night. And so he comes back home that night. He doesn't really notice anything wrong. He just goes about his day. You know what I mean? Like normal.
Yeah. He's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah, he has a lot on his plate for sure.
He's been at the fucking hospital all day. He's old. He's fucking tired and shit. You're not going to notice that, there's fucking 5 muffins here when there used to be 7.
Exactly. And so, so this kind of goes on, like,
this dude enrages me, by the way. I hope he fucking gets brained with a fucking broom handle at some point in this story.
let me get into it.
All right.
So a couple weeks go by, and it's like Philip leaves during the day to go visit his wife, and then he comes home at night, eats some food, and then maybe leaves food out. It doesn't really say, but then this Theodore dude will come down when he's asleep and like eat food.
Really?
Yeah, he says.
But he's not active in the daytime.
No, he's not active in the daytime. He
just stays up
he
there?
just stays up there.
Why
Like,
wouldn't he fucking be more active when the guy's not home?
well, no, he leaves when he's not home.
Right.
It's so later on in the story, once we get to the other parts, he said that he would leave when he wasn't home, and then when he would hear Philip snoring at night, he would creep down at night to like eat food and stuff like that.
Where did he go?
Who?
The fucking dude.
The Theodore?
Yeah.
He would just hang out in his little cubby hole.
So he only came out at night.
Only came out at night, and when he knew Philip was not home.
Okay. So he is active if he knew he wasn't home.
Look how big this house is.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-bedroom house, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's
Well, it
dinky.
says it's 2 stories supposedly.
What? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But, so the attic is tinier than
Yeah,
that.
the attic is
tiny.
pinner. The
Yeah.
attic is little,
Yeah.
and
It's not like a full on attic. It's
No,
more just
no.
Like, it's like a storage space for like Christmas decorations and shit.
exactly.
All right.
And so this kind of goes on for like 5 weeks, where he's just, you know what I mean, like he's just kind of living his life up there, and this Philip dude is living his life, has no
He's
idea.
on straight vampire time now.
Yeah, he has no
Only
idea.
comes out in the fucking shadows.
Yeah.
Scurries about.
Like he has no idea that this stuff is like happening. And then so around the 5-week mark, Philip leaves to go visit his wife, and then Theodore comes down to like eat some food, and for whatever reason Philip comes home early, like super early.
Yeah.
And then what Philip sees, he comes into his house and he says, like he sees a gaunt vagrant rummaging through his ice chest, his fridge.
Motherfucker, it's on.
And then so a fight quickly ensues.
Yeah. Get him, Phil.
And then I guess Philip starts hitting him with his cane.
Fuck yeah.
And then
Show him what we do in this house.
Theodore starts fighting him back. And then
Fuck
I
you,
guess
Theodore.
at some point Philip finds a pistol
Yeah, he does.
in the house.
Yeah.
No. Theodore.
Theodore does?
Theodore finds the
Fuck.
pistol. And so Theodore starts fucking beating him with his fucking pistol. And then the pistol breaks. And then I guess he picks up a heavy stove iron. And then
Cast iron
like
pan?
like a big stick with like a little shovel on it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And for like a wood fire or whatever. And he beats fucking poor Philip to death.
Shithead.
Yeah. So he beats him to death. And then
His own house with his own gun.
yeah. And so he so this fucking Theodore guy is like, well, he's dead, and he doesn't do anything about it. He doesn't run away, and he doesn't flee.
No, he goes back to his little fucking hiding.
He goes and creeps back up into his little hiding spot.
No fucking way.
And so at this point, Philip's body is discovered the same day, because at this point, because Philip's wife is in the hospital,
Right.
a bunch of neighbors help Philip out.
Right. They're coming by with casseroles and
Exactly.
shit. Right.
And I guess one of the neighbors said that he would come over every night to have dinner with her and her kids, and he didn't show up. And so she was worried because he's like older.
He's old. He could have fallen down. He could,
So, so she goes across the street because it's like right across the street. So she goes across the street and like looks around that and like looks at the house, and it's like all the lights are off, and that's like very like not typical for Philip. So she was like, something's up. So I guess she like gathers some neighbors, and like, you know, it sounds like multiple people help this Philip guy out.
Yeah.
Because he's like probably
Form up the posse.
And so so a few neighbors come around, and they're like, you know, looking around the house and like around like outside the house and stuff like that. And I guess some neighbor hops the fence, and then the back door is open, and then she like goes in and then lets the first neighbor in, this lady. And so like she opens up the front door, and the people come like looking for fucking Philip, and they see that there's like a blood trail through the living room. And then so they go to the kitchen, and there's like blood everywhere in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then they go into Philip's bedroom, and Philip is in there dead. And so they find his fucking dead body, and they're like,
that's where he killed him?
I guess that's where Philip ended up dying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was probably a scuffle that started.
And he ran away.
And yeah.
Tried to tend to his wounds and succumbed. Okay.
And then so they obviously they call the police, and then the police show up, and then
okay, this is the part where you search the fucking house, right?
So the police are very like,
this isn't gonna go my way.
The police are very like weirded out by the strange events because nothing is stolen.
There's no forced entry.
There's no the house is locked because like they told them they had to unlock the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they like look around all throughout the house. They do not see a motive at all.
Right.
You know, and then they go upstairs and they go into the closet and they look up and they see that there's a crawl space, but it's so small that they're like, oh, well, a fucking person couldn't be up there. So they don't check it.
Damn.
So they don't check the crawl space, you know?
Yeah.
And so
great.
Exactly. So
well done.
So Theodore goes undetected. And obviously the police kind of like look into Philip's background. They see that he worked for the railway company for like 40 years.
Oh, motherfucker. Really?
And like he retired. He like retired in the 30s.
Oh.
And the neighbor,
I bet he was like a railroad bull that would have fucked old Theodore up on the rails back in the Depression.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then
had
so
our paths crossed when I was a little bit younger. I would have broken you the fuck off, son.
And
caught you on one of my trains.
And
I like that he fucking whooped his ass with his cane.
He probably fucked him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this guy sounds like a fucking pussy.
Yeah, fuck Theodore.
Frail. And like, you know, they talk to the neighbors and they're just like, yeah.
And they don't fucking know anything about it.
Philip Parker's like a super nice old man who lives there with his wife. Like he doesn't have any enemies. He's like, he worked at a normal job and retired. So it's not like he had any fucking weird, sketchy business dealing. You know what I mean? Like they're just like,
they're coming up short.
No motive. The police are completely stumped by this. And obviously they let the wife know.
Hey, question.
Yes,
originally, how did he get in if they weren't home?
He says the door was unlocked.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's 1940s. And like,
1940s.
You trust your neighbors and shit. Like you said, they were helping him out and stuff.
Yeah. And, you know, and this is in Colorado, so it was before the free weed, before all the criminals moved there.
Yeah.
So
here we go.
So,
crabby old man.
So, anyways, his wife gets better.
Yeah.
Philip's wife gets better.
Your fucking turn.
And so, she moves back into the house. She moves out of the hospital and she moves into the house. And so she's like in her late 60s. She's a very frail old lady.
Yeah.
she's recovering from fucking hip surgery in the 1940s. So fucking
Alone now.
Lord only knows.
Do they have kids?
That they do have adult kids. It says
Okay.
that they do have kids, but they don't live there.
Okay.
And she hires a housekeeper to live with her.
Oh yeah.
And so she hires a housekeeper to live there, and then so she doesn't live there alone.
Who's the housekeeper?
Her name is Tatty something. Let me see. I wrote it down because I thought Hattie Thompson.
Yeah.
Hattie Thompson.
Yeah.
So
How old's Hattie?
it doesn't say. But
Fucking strong.
this Hattie Thompson does not like the house, and she feels very uneasy in the house, and she claims that she hears footsteps throughout the house, and Philip's wife also hears footsteps in the house. So Hattie quits
Really?
because the house is haunted with Philip's ghost.
Shit.
So, and at this point,
Do you think that he's getting more bold?
he might be getting more bold.
Do you think that like because it doesn't seem like Philip ever even suspected he was fucking
No,
there.
and that's the thing is that Philip, there's never reports of missing food
Right.
or anything like that.
But it could like Philip, you know.
Yeah, he's an older guy.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
could have hard hearing.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
You know, there could have been many factors, but that's just weird that he seems to be letting his presence be known a little bit more with the ladies.
Well, I think what the issue is that Philip would leave,
Right.
and this lady and her housekeeper probably never left.
Yeah.
So he probably had to like leave, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so at this point, Philip's wife falls down again,
God damn.
and I think re-breaks her hip.
Shit.
So she goes back to the hospital.
Now he's just got the free reign.
And so it doesn't say how long she's in the hospital for, but I imagine it's probably for another few weeks.
Yeah.
She gets released from the hospital again. And she hires another housekeeper.
All right.
And then she moves back in, and then this housekeeper is like, this place is fucked up. This place is haunted. And then this lady even says that she had seen a dark, shadowy figure walking through her room at night,
Oh.
because she must have been in the room where the crawl space was.
Yeah.
And so she had claimed that she had seen a shadow person or a shadowy figure
Oh,
walking
that's so
around at night.
fucked.
And she would hear footsteps and stuff in the other room. So this lady also quits because the house is haunted.
Dude, she needs to go and she needs to find like some fucking
And so-
7-foot tall Norwegian.
And so
Broomhilda needs to come in here.
at this point,
Fuck up. Theodore.
Philip's wife is living there by herself, probably, and her adult son and daughter-in-law come to visit.
Yeah.
And the son and daughter-in-law are like, "Hey, move in with us.
You fuck this place.
We live in Western Colorado. Just come move in with us. We'll take care
Yeah.
of you. You don't want to live here by yourself."
Yeah.
And
Here we go.
and because like everybody's very uneasy about the house because they
Yeah, the two
because-
housekeepers fucking quit
because
and they have shadow
one,
people.
their father was beaten to death in the house.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, everyone's
And
very
that.
everyone's very uneasy. Everyone's very uneasy in the
Forgot
house
about that part.
because there's like a very like foreboding like evil fucking like
Yeah.
presence in the house. You know what I mean? Like it's like not a fun place to live.
I believe the kids call it a bad vibe.
There's a bad vibe in the house.
Yep.
And so so she decides to move out.
Good for her.
To move in with the son and daughter-in-law.
Fuck, I think this is the first fucking story we've covered where they actually do fuck off.
Yeah.
Fucking move.
So she leaves, and then she obviously locks up the house, and then apparently the son lives there for about 3 weeks by himself.
Yeah.
And when he's there, he calls a cleaning crew, a cleaning company to clean up the house. And then he also calls a plumber to shut off all the plumbing of the house.
Yeah.
And then
starve you out, you fuck.
And then they close up the house, you know what I mean? And then they leave. And you know, for whatever reason, like this house is all it doesn't say it's boarded up, but it's closed up, you know what I mean? And one day the next door neighbor, a lady and her, it just says fucking Rose something.
Yeah.
And her like kids live in the house. And then they notice that like lights flicker on and off within the house, within Philip's house.
Like they live in a house like across the street or something. Yeah.
And everybody knows that there's nobody in there.
Right.
And so she's like, what the fuck's going on in there?
Yeah.
And so she goes to the house with a baseball bat.
Fuck yeah.
It's not that cool. And she kind of like looks through the windows and stuff like that and looks in the house. And it sounds like they left a key for the neighbors and the police and stuff because I guess, and she doesn't discover anything, you know what I mean? But neighbors and stuff would call the cops and say that they would see lights flickering on and off in the house. And then rumors kind of start spreading and people just kind of think the house is like haunted.
Right.
And so at this point, there's like like police would kind of patrol and they would like go into the house and check in the house.
Like the keys just hanging up outside.
Yeah, or something, you know what I mean? But it says that the cops would go into the house and like kind of just poke around, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure at this point they don't, it's probably a nicer neighborhood, so they probably don't want like vagrants moving into an abandoned house. So they kind of routinely would check it.
Not search it.
Not search it, but they would check it.
They would check it.
And during one of these patrols, when the cops are in there, one of the policemen hears a lock upstairs, like a door being locked or unlocked.
Motherfucker.
And so he's like, what the fuck? And so he fucking runs upstairs and then I guess he busts into the fucking bedroom and he sees two little legs like crawling up into the fucking like crawl space. And so the policeman fucking runs over there and it says that they fucking rip fucking Theodore down out of there.
Oh, it's on now. It's 1941.
And so
stick time.
So they see this guy and he's like
throw you off the fucking balcony.
He's like
Michael Myers.
super gaunt. He has like long hair. He has like ripped up clothes. He has like a big old beard and he's just like looks like a fucking little goblin, disheveled fucking little beast of a man. And
he looks like he's into bluegrass.
That's the most apt description ever.
Yeah.
Looks like he's super into bluegrass music.
Yeah. He looks like he's in one of those bands where they play fucking pans and shit. He's like he steps on a box and shit. Yeah.
It's like a stomp clap.
Yeah, stomp clap, yeah. So they quickly arrest him. Obviously. And then
way to go.
They take him back to the fucking police station.
What is this, like 1962?
Mm-hmm. No, it says 1941.
Jesus Christ.
And so they arrest this dude and he quickly confesses to the murder.
Can you imagine just for a second being the fucking sergeant? You just have the detectives and the police, your guys like in the bullpen, right? And you just come out like, just like, what would you, he had to have been like,
so you didn't check the place?
So you had a murder. Pretty sure the only one in fucking history where the guy didn't leave the murder scene.
Yeah.
And you couldn't fucking put the dots together. You know, I have to have a press conference about this shit. Like, he must have been so fucking pissed. And just be like, I have to go out there and be like, we found him. Turns out he was still in the house.
I was looking up photos of this, and that crawl space is incredibly small, but also they have him pose as if he was sleeping inside this place, like all contorted.
Yeah.
So he had to sleep in a weird position.
In a weird position just all day long. And
cool.
And so, you know, he confesses to the murder and he's like, well, I knew him and I knew his wife and I had been there before years ago. And then the wife, Philip's wife, corroborates his story. Like, yeah, like we did know him like fucking
Yeah.
20 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
And we had a mandolin club, and sometimes we would have the mandolin club at our house.
See, that's why you stay away from these pastimes.
And so I guess what had happened is Theodore says that he would sneak down whenever Philip was not home, or when he heard him snoring, and he would steal very small amounts of food because he didn't want anyone to know that he was there.
Right.
And he said one day he was just like starving up there, so he came down and he saw a plate of meat, and he was just like fucking like eating the fuck out of this plate of meat. And then Philip came home, and he was like so distracted with the meat
He didn't notice it.
that he didn't notice Philip coming home. So then that's when the fight ensued, and he confesses to beating him with the fucking pistol, and then he confesses beating him with the fucking thing.
Yeah.
The
Where is this again?
Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
And so he confesses to the crime.
Yeah, let's get to the good shit. What did the good people of Denver in 1941 decide to do with old fucking Theodore?
Well, he confesses. I guess he writes like a fucking 8,000 word confession letter confessing to everything. You know what I mean? And then he has a very quick trial, and then he is found guilty
Thank God.
of murder and trespassing and stalking. Well, there probably wasn't stalking back then.
No.
No. And so
were just persistent.
he gets life in prison. It doesn't really say how long he lived after that. But he's caught and he's brought to justice. And the house is still around to this day.
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
That's creepy as fuck.
And so in his confession letter, he says that he lived there for 9 to 10 months undetected.
Good record.
Yeah, pretty good record.
Gotta say, though, when you do get detected, probably could work on your behavior surrounding that.
A little bit.
I'm not going to say it's a good run, but
Yeah.
we have to know how to take an L, too.
It's a bummer because he probably could have just fucking ran away, but he decided to fucking kill old Philip,
How the fuck, it's not like he's going to pursue you. He's Cain, for fuck's sake.
And, and in his confession letter, he said that he would like lay up there in his little cubby hole for like up to 10 hours, 20 hours a day, and just totally silent up there in the fucking attic.
Fucking creepy.
So when they found him, he's 6 feet tall and he was 75 pounds. Sorry, he weighs 75 pounds?
Yeah, he was 75 pounds and he's 6 feet tall.
He is a little fucking goblin.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's not like the fad, because that was back in the day, like he was kind of a trendsetter, I feel like. But like the fad part of frogging now, like, have you seen, there's a fucking horrifying video.
Oh, of the lady?
The lady
Oh
in the
my God,
fucking
dude, yeah.
same kind of thing. She comes out like a cupboard or something.
Yeah, there's a really famous YouTube video.
Yeah.
And
that one is fuck.
This guy, I don't know where he lives, but he notices food missing in his house, and he blames his girlfriend, and she's like, "I'm not eating your food." And he's like, he sets up a hidden camera because he says he wants to catch his girlfriend stealing food.
Fuck.
To like give her shit.
God damn.
And then he sees this fucking little lady, this little old lady come out of a fucking kitchen cupboard.
Yeah, so she had fucking up there, it's the same kind of thing. There's like a weird little access, I think, for like their heating system or something inside their cabinetry. And so she was living up in there.
Yeah.
And so she just crawls out at night. It's all night vision too. The whole thing, the first thing she does is to take a piss in the sink.
Yeah.
And then she just starts fucking raiding the fridge.
And that one's even crazier because she wasn't in an attic. She was like literally just in a cupboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then and the guy calls the cops, and the cops show up, and the lady's fucking in the cupboard.
Yeah. Just chilling.
Horrifying, dude.
They'd fucking yank him out. Jesus.
Yeah. Horrifying.
Yeah.
I was reading about this one story in Honolulu where this husband and wife and their kids, they go to the mainland for vacation for 2 weeks. And then when they come home, when they go to open the door, somebody pushes the door closed. And so the husband's like, what the fuck? And then so he so the wife goes and calls the cops, and then the
Yeah.
husband like runs around and like gets into the house, and he finds this fucking weird little skinny dude, and I guess he fucking fucks him up, and then he then gets him out of the house,
Yeah.
and then they arrest him. And so this is sort of like a squatting case, you know? They're like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy was squatting there while they're gone. But then it quickly turns into a fucking frogging case because they start looking at their computers and their webcams and shit. And this guy was like making videos in his webcam, like a diary, saying that he was gonna like chop up the family and he was gonna like do all this stuff.
Oh, cool.
And then they kind of realized that he had been probably living in their attic for like a couple weeks before they left. Frogging, no good.
For those of you that get a little freaked out by the thought of this, because it is fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah.
Some weird little goblin. Just go to your YouTube or Reddit. It's even better. But yes, there are creepy frogging videos.
Yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
if you know what the antidote is, it's just go to the search bar and type in "Frogger gets caught," and you can go down that fun rabbit hole because there are plenty of videos of people finding them. They're fucking them up.
Fuck, dude. It's such a creepy fucking phenomenon.
Yeah.
You know, I'll probably do another one of these frogging cases down the road at some point because there's a bunch
Yeah.
of really crazy ones.
I get it as a burglary or if it's like an attempted frogging case. Remember the one where the dude's fucking reaching through the mail slot? And
and then
fucker
that
comes
dude-
out with
and
an
that dude-
aluminum
yeah.
bat. He just destroys
Yeah.
this dude's arm.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
And you just hear the scream.
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of videos like
Yeah.
that.
So that was my story of the Denver Spider-Man. Oh, and the and this also quickly becomes national news, obviously. And a reporter says that he is a sneaky little Spider-Man, and so that's where the name comes from, the Denver Spider-Man.
So
Yeah.
they also found a bunch of cans of poop up there.
Yeah, I was wondering what he was doing about that particular
He would sleep
problem.
down during the day, but also I guess he couldn't sometimes.
Yeah. So we have to have a backup plan. So he started his own little cannery up there. A little dump cannery. That's great.
Pickling vegetables.
Fuck.
Anyway, so that's my story.
Some family lives there now. They're going to find a fucking unopened, unlabeled can.
What'd you think?
It's fucking creepy.
Super creepy.
It's creepy. It's what
Yeah.
the fuck the show
it's
revolves
gross.
around, but
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a bad one,
Yeah.
man. Poor
What would
Philip.
you do?
Poor Philip, man. That
Poor
sucks.
fucking Philip. That sucks ass. But this isn't gonna sound the best, but probably could have avoided this if we weren't in the fucking mandolin club, huh, Phil?
Or he locked his doors.
Or, I bet
Or
you
that.
I bet you those neighbors quickly start locking their doors.
Dude, you picked a creepy one. Dude, my wife's gonna fucking hear this. I'm gonna be checking the house for like 2 weeks at night. It's
Well,
gonna be
you
like bedtime, and she's gonna be like, "All right,
But luckily, you have that ferocious guard dog.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, just fucking half deaf, 11-pound wiener dog." If you ever break into my house and you just bring roast beef and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
She'll be like, "What do you do?" Oh, okay.
yeah.
Aren't those little dogs very territorial? If they don't know you.
Yeah, but they like what you know.
Well, yeah. Your little dog's not happy to see me anytime I go visit.
No, she's not happy to see anybody.
No,
I love her.
she's good.
Yeah, she's a good dog. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's my story. Should we go get lunch?
Fuck. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Let's get out of here so the dude that lives in your fucking attic
could come down
take a leak.
and fuck up the software when we're gone.
I'm not going to shut it down properly.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah,
folks.
let's go see how turned up we can
Thank you,
get you.
everybody.
That
Like and
was
subscribe.
That was our episode this week.
Yeah. This is a creepy one.
Check your crawl
I'm not
space.
kidding though, dude. There's a lot of these dudes getting caught and they're funny as fuck. They'll just get like beaten with chairs and shit. It's
Yeah.
fucking tight.
Check your crawl space.
And most of the time they're not like goblin looking. They're like usually like fucking
Oh,
festival
and
kids.
there's actually been a couple cases of people going to Airbnbs and then finding the homeowners like up in the fucking attic.
Up in their fucking
Yeah.
weird little control room
Yep.
watching them.
Yep.
Yeah. I read a couple of those.
Fuck that.
Yeah, they you know what's this had like a weird little surge of popularity too. They made like there's like 7 movies about this.
It's like one of the creepiest fucking phenomenons ever, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Just somebody being in your house and you not knowing is
Right.
like horrifying.
Right. Like I don't know how those catch fire, like how they take hold and stuff. But this one was definitely like, I'm fucking shocked at how fucking careful they are and how little times that they're just like shot
Yeah.
fucking in the head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm shocked with like some of the states, some of the fucking like you doing this shit in Texas.
Yeah. Well, I
You're
think
fucking breaking into people's houses.
I
and
think a lot
living
of times
there
though
in
these like
Texas.
it sounds like these fucking weirdos do this to like single women and shit like that, and just like places that they probably don't have like pets or dogs or anything
Right.
like, because like my dogs would be
even
freaking.
still, some of these states they shoot too.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, if that happened to my house, my dogs would be fucking going ape shit all the
Yeah,
time. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And I'd be searching around the house to like shut my fucking dogs up.
Right.
But
But like still I'm shocked at how many times that they're just like they're
Yeah.
not fucking just like
just fucking murked instantly.
dude.
Yeah.
I hear some fucking shit up in the fucking attic, dude. Like you heard the footsteps, you saw the shadow figure and stuff. And like I don't know, they're in any other scenario. And maybe it's because they're an elderly couple, but I would assume they're like they did have a pistol too.
Yeah. But it went missing.
I fucking
He stole it.
yeah, dude. Phil must have fucking.
Yeah.
That's why. If this is a lesson to anybody, you keep that thing on you. Yeah, dude. Mm-hmm. In case of the frogs, dude, you stay
Yeah.
strapped.
Make sure you're strapped up. All right. Yeah, let's call it.
Like and subscribe, everybody.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you, everyone.
I'll be
Thank
coming
you.
at you next week with some spooky, sleepy stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Have a good one.
God, you fucking prick. Dickhead.